India, a nation with a coastline stretching over 7,500 kilometers, boasts one of the world's largest fishing industries. From the shores of Kerala to the coasts of Gujarat, millions of fishermen set sail each day, relying on the ocean's bounty to sustain their families. Fishing is not just a profession, it is a way of life passed down through generations. But today, an unseen threat is pushing this industry to the brink of crisis. It is not overfishing nor a natural disaster, it is plastic pollution. Plastic has become an inseparable part of modern life, but its convenience comes at a steep price. India generates approximately 3.5 million tons of plastic waste annually, and much of it ends up in rivers, lakes, and eventually the sea. Single-use plastics, abandoned fishing nets, and industrial waste drift with the currents, forming vast floating garbage patches. Once in the ocean, plastics degrade into smaller particles called microplastics, which are nearly impossible to remove. For fishermen, this pollution creates daily struggles. Nets get entangled in plastic waste, damaging expensive fishing equipment. Boats navigating through polluted waters experience motor blockages, increasing repair costs. Worse, the fish they rely on for their livelihood are disappearing as marine ecosystems suffer from contamination. The effects of plastic pollution are deeply felt beneath the surface. Fish, crabs, and shellfish unknowingly consume microplastics, mistaking them for food. These toxic particles accumulate in their bodies, weakening their health and reducing their population. Fishermen who once returned with abundant catches now struggle to find fish in traditional fishing zones. Many are forced to venture farther into the sea, increasing fuel costs and making each trip riskier and less profitable. Moreover, plastic pollution is leading to the destruction of coral reefs and mangroves, key habitats that support fish populations. Coral reefs, which act as nurseries for many species, are getting smothered by plastic debris, preventing them from thriving. Without these essential ecosystems, the fish population continues to decline, and so does the income of those who depend on them. The impact of plastic pollution is not just felt at sea, it ripples across the entire fishing industry. As fish stocks dwindle, supply decreases, causing seafood prices to rise. In India, where fish is a staple in many diets, this directly affects millions of consumers. Coastal communities heavily reliant on fishing face economic hardships as income drops and job opportunities shrink. For exporters, the problem is even more severe. International markets impose strict regulations on seafood quality, and reports of microplastic contamination can lead to rejected shipments. This damages India's reputation as a seafood supplier and results in financial losses. With fewer fish available and declining quality, India's position in the global seafood industry is at risk. One of the major contributors to this crisis is improper waste disposal. While cities like Mumbai and Chennai generate massive amounts of plastic waste, much of it is not properly collected or recycled. Rivers like the Ganges and Yamuna carry plastic debris from the mainland to coastal regions, turning fishing hubs into dumping grounds. Fishermen often find themselves hauling in more plastic than fish, a painful reminder of how human actions are polluting their source of livelihood. While some efforts have been made to combat plastic pollution, they remain insufficient. Cleanup initiatives are slow, and waste management infrastructure is unable to keep up with the growing consumption of plastic. Without strict enforcement of environmental policies, plastic pollution will continue to choke India's waters and the communities that depend on them. Despite the grim situation, there is hope. Governments, industries, and communities must work together to address plastic pollution before it causes irreversible damage. Strengthening waste management systems, investing in recycling technologies, and enforcing strict bans on single-use plastics are crucial steps. Coastal cleanup programs should be expanded, and fishermen should be encouraged to participate in ocean conservation efforts. At the same time, industries must be held accountable for their role in plastic pollution. Fishing equipment manufacturers should explore biodegradable alternatives to plastic nets, and packaging companies must reduce their dependency on plastic materials. Consumers also have a role to play. By reducing plastic use and properly disposing of waste, they can help prevent further pollution of the ocean. The fishing industry of India is standing at a crossroads. If plastic pollution continues at its current pace, it will not only endanger marine life but also push countless fishermen into unemployment and poverty. But if decisive action is taken today, India can protect both its environment and its people. The ocean has provided for generations. Now, it is our turn to protect it. The time to act is now, before plastic pollution sinks an entire industry and the livelihoods that depend on it.